Hi friends, Stevie here. Welcome to Splits Camp Part 1. This is building basics. First, I want to say if you're here from any other part, that's fine. You can do this series in any order. Is it in the suggested order? Yes. However, I totally understand if you'd rather play around in another order, it doesn't matter. And we're playing with this idea of drills, both active and passive things that we can do to work on our front splits, which is one leg forward and one leg back versus middle splits. I want to start off by saying that splits is a fun thing to do, and working on the different aspects of splits, such as the massive backline stretch or the hamstring stretch for that front leg and the huge hip extension for the back leg, can be very beneficial for a variety of movements, both on and off the yoga mat. But splits itself, front splits, getting all the way to the ground, especially with the idea of square hips or both hips facing forward, is really past functional range on a lot of different aspects for many people. And in this course, I'll never ask you to force yourself down or do anything like that. In fact, you'll find we're not really actually even doing the splits all that much. We're doing a variety of drills that maybe look like the splits or hint towards the split. And we will be moving at a little bit faster pace just to keep these on the shorter side. If there's a drill that's really hard for you but feels beneficial for your body, you can always pause. That's one of the beauties of online, and play with it for longer, more reps, a longer hold, because sometimes we'll be doing faster repeated reps, and sometimes we'll be doing a longer static hold because there's a variety of drills. Just like things like handstand go, splits require this consistency and this tinkering and just eagerness for discovery within our own body. There's a lot of complexity going on, even right away from bony differences of the hips and how we might need to rotate the legs or splay them out a little bit for some of the drills, or even splits themselves, to get down a little bit more comfortably for your body. So just because something isn't offered doesn't mean it's not available to you. I encourage you to explore. For all of these, I recommend all the props. But for today especially, I think having a strap and some blocks could be handy, as well as a blanket nearby just to soften the load on the back knee. We'll be doing a lot of lunging and tabletop and things like that. So again, you can start this series at any point. You don't have to want to do splits. It's still beneficial for hip extension and hamstring stretching. And we'll be doing a little bit of arm loading, but mainly it will be more flexibility, mobility focused on the legs, both active and passive. So gather your props, keep your strap and at least one block nearby, and meet me on the back body. We'll start in constructive rest. Come to the back, bend the knees, plant the soles of the feet fairly wide, and let the knees just knock in for a moment. Take a second to drop into the space on your mat. Notice your breath, your natural breath. There's no need to change it for any of these drills. If you find yourself in any of them completely unable to breathe, back out a little bit. Learning not just to tinker, but how hard to push ourselves, especially when it comes to these stretchy sensations. And they won't all be stretchy sensations. They'll sometimes be work sensations or muscle engagement sensations in these workshops and flow classes. But that's a big part of this journey of yoga or yoga-inspired movement. Learning what works best for your body and how to make the most of your time on the mat, since I know many of us are busy. Let the knees face up towards the sky, but keep them bent. Leave the left foot as is. Pull the right knee in towards your chest. Give it a squeeze. Roll through the ankle. Bring your left arm down by your side. Take your right hand to your right knee and start to make big circles. Doesn't matter which direction of the right knee. Keep the right heel close to the sit bone for a moment and just take big circles. Let the rest of the body be still for a moment. Big circles of that right knee. And change directions. Pull the right knee back into the chest. Give it a squeeze. Reach behind your hamstring or the back of your thigh and interlace your fingers, or use a strap to do this. If your leg is a little bit further away, Also experiment with maybe taking the leg out to the side slightly, whether you have a belly or chest that you need to move out of the way. Sometimes just bony differences can make it more comfortable to take the leg slightly out to the side, and then you're able to get more of this thigh to belly compression. So whether you have your fingers interlaced or a strap behind the thigh, let the left knee point towards the sky. Leave the ankle soft on the right foot to start, and just play with the idea of working the leg towards straight and then back. Going slow here. Noticing the sensations, it certainly doesn't have to go all the way to straight. Focusing on hugging the thigh towards the chest. Straighten and bend the leg. Let the ankle be soft, let the toes be soft. And the next time it works somewhat towards straight, hold it there and pause. Using the force of your hands or the strap to keep the thigh close to the belly and using the strength of the leg itself to work towards straight. Can you keep everything where it is and release the hands from the leg? If you'd like to work them up your leg, whether that's your hands or the strap itself, and gently pull in a little bit more, be my guest. But this is early. Figure out what works for you. If you want to move your leg a little out to the side or more in towards the center, that could be interesting. There's no need to do anything with the ankle yet. Go back to that first position of hands interlaced behind your hamstring or the strap itself, and gently tug the leg again close to the body, working it somewhat towards straight, but not to your furthest point. Now add in the flex of the foot. Notice if you can straighten more or less here. Curl the heel towards the sit bone and start to again go bent to straight. For many of us, it may feel like we have less range of motion here. Sometimes that's not always muscular, and it could be more of just the nerve tension on the back of the leg. Again, straightening. Pause when the leg is somewhat towards straight. Use the hands to hug the thigh close in. Whether the ankle is soft or flexed is your choice. Straighten the other leg on the ground here for a moment. Squeeze the left glute, that's the bottom leg. So squeeze and tone the left glute underneath you and reach the left heel away while you tug the right knee toward your nose. Great. Rebend the left leg, release the right leg, and lower it down. Leave the right foot down, pull the left knee in towards your chest. Give it a squeeze. Put the left hand on the left knee and the right hand down by your side. Take some circles of that left knee. Doesn't matter which direction, keep the heel close to the sit bone. And take it the other way. Pause with the thigh towards the chest. Maybe taking it out to the side, even moving the skin of your belly or your chest if that's in the way. Or if you like it better directly in, go for it. Once you figured out where you'd like your leg, interlace your hands behind your left hamstring. Again, you can use the strap if that's more comfy here. It'll give you more space. Even if the leg is farther away, you'll still be able to have something to grip on. Once you've holding that leg close to the belly or to the side ribs, start to play with this idea of straightening the leg and rebending. Let the ankle be soft to start and the right knee facing up. Just go back and forth. No need for speed or anything here. And then play with the idea of holding it towards straight. Again, hands just behind the hamstrings. Hold the static pose. Can you release the hands and still keep the thigh close to where it was and whatever level of straight you found in your body? Maybe the hands walk up a little bit higher towards the calf, or again, grab onto the strap and loop it around there for some extra grip. And you play with the idea of continuing to tug it in towards your face. There's no need to hold on to the foot or the big toe or anything yet. Walk the hands back down towards the hamstring. Flex through the foot and notice if that changes anything. Start to, again, pull the heel close to the sit bone and then work towards straight. Heel to the sit bone, work towards straight. Also interesting to note differences between the sides. I know one side of splits is much easier for me than the other. I get a lot more hamstring flexibility in my right leg and a lot more hip extension in my left leg, which means right leg in front is a lot easier. It's pretty normal. And while we can work to balance things out, I don't think it's super important to ever be exactly the same on both sides, and probably somewhat impossible. Hold it whatever level of straight feels comfortable for you, foot flexed or just relaxed, and work the bottom leg towards straight. Squeeze through the right glute and think about pressing the right heel away from your body as you pull the left knee in towards your face. It's okay to embrace all the little shivers and shakes here. Release your hands and let both legs be long. Flop them in and out for a moment. Pull both knees to your chest and out towards your armpits. Give them a squeeze. Grab behind your hamstrings again, or you can loop the strap all the way around and just hold onto those hamstrings while you let the knees come wide. Play with straightening one leg and then the other, doing whatever you want with your ankles. You can allow yourself to rock back and forth here. Maybe try something new with the ankles. Try a smaller straddle. Try a bigger straddle. Okay, pause the movements and release your feet to the ground. Grab one of your blocks and press into your feet, lift your hips, and put the block on the low setting underneath your sacrum. That's the back of your pelvis, so not in your low back, on your sacrum. Before you release your sacrum onto the block, lengthen your tailbone towards your heels, and then put your pelvis down on the block. If this is really hard, if you have a wooden block, it's just not comfy, you can certainly put a blanket on top of the block. Pull one knee into your chest, and then pull the other knee into your chest, kind of floating your lower body on that block a little bit. Pull your right knee in a little bit more and start to hug it in. Again, whether that's directly in or slightly out to the side is up to you. Straighten your left leg, and I recommend here a soft ankle, but if you prefer the engagement that often comes with a flex foot, you can feel the front of your leg, go for it. I like kind of a pointed or even a soft ankle. Keep the right knee pulling in towards your chest and start to drop the left leg down, long and strong, keeping the knee pointing up. It might touch the floor, it might not. Don't worry if it floats. Just think about drawing the knees in opposite directions. If it does touch the floor, that's fine. You can relax it onto the floor. But keep the idea of squeezing under the left glute, and you can even use your left hand to see, like, is my left glute working? And then tug the knees apart. So squeeze through the left glute, tug the knees in opposite directions. And one more thing, I know it's a lot. Pull your pubic bone towards your sternum, because we're searching for some hip extension here in the front of this bottom hip, with the idea of the legs being split, which can be a lot more sensation-inducing for a lot of people. So pull the knees apart, lengthen your tailbone, or pull your pubic bone up towards your sternum. Invitation to stay here, or to, again, bring the left leg up and then slowly lower it down, just kind of playing with this engagement. Squeeze the glute at the bottom, lift it up, lower it down, squeeze the glute. Try to keep the top of the foot and the knee facing upward for now. One more time, bring it up and lower it down. Bend the left leg, release it to the floor, release the right leg, bring it down. And just gently turn the knees from side to side, just kind of massaging the back of the sacrum on the block for a moment. And then when you're ready, pull one knee into your chest and pull the other into your chest. This time, keep a hold of that left leg. You have your strap. It's available as well. Pull it in. Send the right leg up straight or somewhat towards straight. If you're like, that doesn't work for me, that's fine. Just bring it as straight as it feels comfy right now. You choose what to do with the heel or the ankle and start to lower that right leg down to or towards the floor. No big deal. If it floats, that's fine. If it does come all the way to the floor, that's fine too. Squeeze through the right booty. Squeeze. You should feel it almost lift you up on the block a little bit. Can you squeeze through that right booty and think about the right knee pulling away while the left knee pulls in. Pull the pubic bone up towards your sternum and search for a stretch sensation across the front of the right hip. Keep that left knee pulling in. Option to stay here and hold, or to work the right leg back up towards the sky, and then slowly lower it back down. Squeeze the booty at the bottom, lift it up, lower it down, lift it up, lower it down. One more time, lift it up, lower it down, squeeze. Bend into the right leg and release it to the floor. Release the left leg, lift your hips. Lift them up the block and actually lift and squeeze through the booty. Pull the pubic bone up towards the sternum. Just a little glute bridge. We're not trying to do a big back bend here, just thinking about hips to the sky. And tug your knees away from self. Look for engagement in the bum. Hey bum, work hard. And then move the block before you release your hips down. Cool. Place the block off to your side. One more thing on our back body and then I promise we'll get up. Send the left leg long. And then the right leg long. Take your arms out to the side. Palms can be up or down. And press them into the floor, noting that both shoulders are on the floor and both sit bones are on the floor. Face your toes towards the ceiling, and that could mean that you're flexing your feet, or just kind of softening the ankles, but keep the toes towards the ceiling. Push the left heel into the floor. Now lift the right leg, lift the right leg, lift the right leg, and lift it as much as you can, as straight as you can into your face. But you're not using anything except for the leg. Look, mine barely goes past 90. It's chill, guys. Just lift it, lift it. You can experiment with taking it out just slightly. Pull it, pull it, pull it in towards your face. Maybe you bend it a little bit more. Pull it, pull it, pull it in. Keep the left foot down. Pull it, pull it, pull it in. Great, let's switch it out. As you switch it out, lift the left leg off the ground and switch them until the right leg comes down and the left leg comes in. And it might be further than the right leg or less. Pull, pull, pull. Keep both shoulders down. Keep both hips down. Switch. No big deal if it looks nothing like splits. Pull your heels in opposite directions. Squeeze your booty. Switch. 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 One more time each side. Switch. And switch. Pull both knees into your chest. Grab onto them and just rock up to a seat. Phew. Let's keep moving. From your seated position, take your left leg and curl it back behind you. And then take your right leg and knock your right knee out to the side. Now, if this just absolutely doesn't work, you can certainly keep your right foot planted, but it'll be more comfortable for the twist to knock that right knee down. And then you see I'm not really sitting on top of my left calf here. It's not like a Virasana or anything. I'm just kind of sitting off to the side. Take your right hand behind you and lean back. And we're focusing on hip extension on this left leg to start. So first think about glute engagement. As you squeeze your booty, notice your kind of left booty lifts off the floor. And think about driving that left knee down and away. And right away you may feel a stretch. You can also think about pubic bone from the front of your pelvis up towards your sternum. If you're like, I don't feel a stretch, maybe back up your right hand a little bit and play with leaning. But we're looking for some hip extension here. So think about that left knee driving down and away. You're going to add in a twist, and that could also help you feel a little bit. But try to keep that glute engagement. So the squeeze of the booty, can you feel it? Can you see it moving? Can you see it squeezing? And the knee driving down and away. Cactus your left arm and look up towards the sky. And then take a big exhale and twist towards your bottom arm. Reach your left arm across and think about rounding through the spine a little bit. Are you keeping the glute engagement and the knee pressing down and away? It's like a T-spine twist with a quad stretch. Back up to the cactus. Keep the glutes. Keep the knee. Twist and cross the body. Reach. Cactus. Reach. Cactus. Reach. One more time. Cactus. Reach. Nice job. Come back up to a seat. Extend your right leg forward. Now again, it doesn't have to be like a strict Virasana where you'd have the knee in and you're kind of sitting on that. I like mine more out to the side. So experiment with how you like your left leg. You can also put it on a blanket if that's more comfortable. Leave that right leg soft for now. If you want to experiment with a gentle fold forward for a little hamstring stretch and that feels all right on your knee, on your left side, go for it. This kind of single leg forward fold, maybe just getting a little hinge at the hips. Again, if you have belly or chest in the way, sometimes it's helpful to move the leg out to the side, or even just from a bony perspective of the hip bone hitting. Sometimes you can actually get a lot more bend and stretch than you think if you just create some space for yourself and take the leg out a little bit. So we're just kind of hinging at the hip, thinking about somewhat of a long spine as we go forward and come back. Go forward and come back. 2 more times, forward and back. 1 more time, forward and back. Great. Take your hands behind you and lean back to whatever degree feels interesting. Again, find that same engagement of the left knee. So squeeze through the left glute and send the left knee down and away from self. If you're like, I just need to do more to find that here, you can maybe tuck that heel in closer to the body. You can certainly lay all the way back down. Virasana is a lot for my body, so I don't like to go more than my forearms, but you can lay all the way back down. Look for this idea of more of a posterior tilt to the pelvis. So the tailbone kind of curled under and the pubic bone pulling up, then a big bend in the low back. We're not trying to do a big back bend here or anything like that. We're searching for a stretch in the front of the quad and a little bit in the hip of the left leg. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Ugh. Gently prop yourself up here. Ugh. Unwind your left knee. Straighten it. Squeeze it for just a moment. Experiment with that. What does that feel like? And let's do the other side. So curl the right heel behind you. I like to send my leg out a little bit wider and send the left leg with the knee out like a half butterfly. Okay? Again, the left foot can stay if that's just more comfortable for your body as well. Take your left hand back behind you and look for a stretch sensation across the front of the right quad. How can you get that a little bit more? Squeeze through the right booty. Your hip will lift and come over towards the left. Send the right knee down and away from self. Down and away. Keep that the whole time we're doing this drill. The whole time. Cactus your right arm and look up. Then reach your right arm over and left and round through the spine just slightly. Can you keep that knee pointing down and away and the squeeze of the glute? Come back to the cactus position, T-spine rotations. Reach and twist. Cactus. Reach and twist. Cactus. Reach and twist. Cactus. Reach and twist. One more time. Cactus. Keep the glute squeeze. Reach and twist. Come back. Sit up and straighten out through that left leg, adjusting your stance however you'd like. Again, I like mine a little bit more like a V, and I even like to move the skin of my right calf out of the way just a little bit. Take your hands out in front of you and start to hinge at the hips. Just slowly moving up and down. Again, you don't have to go particularly deep here unless you're like, no, I love this. Like, everybody's really different with the splits. For some people, it's the hamstring that they feel it in. Some people, it's the hip extension. Some people, it's both of it, right? Some of us have a really bendy low back, and so maybe we can get into the splits, but the idea of kind of moving the pelvis more towards a posterior tilt, or even just neutral, can bring up a lot of sensations. 2 more of these lifts and lowers, just searching for a little sensation in the front of the left leg. All right, and then lean back. Lean the weight into your hands behind you, adjust your bent knee as needed. Squeeze through the right glute, lengthen the right knee away from self. If you'd like to lower more, you certainly can, and you can even lower all the way to your back body here, but think about that idea of tucking the pelvis under, just like we did before we laid the pelvis down on the block earlier. Squeeze through the right booty, lengthen the right knee away. Great. Peel yourself back up. Straighten out through the right leg. Squeeze both your knees. Roll through your ankles. Shedding like usual. Place a soft bend in your knee. Push your heels down and drag them towards your sit bones until your knees are floating. So you know that your legs aren't all the way straight, right? Hinge at the hips just a little bit forward. Just a little bit forward. Just a little bit forward. And back. Maybe interlace your hands behind your back or just reach them back if that's not comfy. And hinge forward and back. Hinge forward and back. One more time. Hinge forward and back. Great. With your hands behind you, face them out to the side. A little reverse tabletop. So bend into your knees. Plant the soles of your feet. I like mine a little wider than my hips and about 90 degrees with my legs. Press into your hands. I like my fingers out to the side versus facing back, but you do you. Press into your heels. Lift up your booty. Think about this not as a back bend, not really as a shoulder thing, but more about the booty and hip extension. Can you push through your heels, drive your hips up, and then pull your pubic bone towards your sternum and drive your knees away from self? Pubic bone towards sternum, knees away from self. Keep the neck neutral. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your booty back down. Okay, changing that up just a little bit. Let's give her a little bit of quad stretch and hip extension. Look at your left foot. Drag it back maybe 6 to 8 inches. Look at your right foot, move it forward about 3 inches. And you're probably going to have to adjust from there because every body is different. Again, I like my hands facing out to the side for this. What we'll be doing is essentially another glute bridge and then pushing to dip forward, aiming our left knee to or towards the ground. So if you want to watch for this first round, totally fine. You lift up into like a weird glute bridge and you come up onto the left toe because, yeah, you need to, right? Lift up and then you tilt forward, aiming the left knee down and forward. It doesn't have to touch the ground. We're thinking about quad stretch and hip extension. So think about lifting up through that left booty as the left knee reaches down and away. Push into the hands and come back. Come forward, dip the knee down and come back. Come forward, dip the knee down and come back. You can move your hands closer if that's more comfortable. Come forward, dip the knee down, come back. Prioritize pelvic positioning and glute engagement. Come forward, dip the knee down, come back. 2 more like this. Forward, dip the knee down and come back. 1 more. Forward, dip the knee down and come back. Lower your booty and switch your feet. Pew. If this feels like a lot in the knee, you can also play with separating the legs a little bit more to give them space. And don't worry about getting the knee all the way to the floor, okay? It's just about feeling a little bit of stretch sensation while also keeping the glutes engaged. Lift up, curl up onto that right tippy toe, squeeze the booty, lift up through the right hip, come forward, dip the right knee down, come back. Come forward, dip the right knee down, come back. Come forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. 2 more. Forward and back. Forward and back. Ooh. Release your booty to the floor. Roll through your wrists. They just did a lot of work. Give them a break. And just do a light diamond seat. So it's like butterfly, except you don't worry about pulling your heels in. Let the knees come wide, soles of the feet together. And let yourself kind of fold in between your legs. And you can use your hands to stop you here, whether that's on the floor or your legs. Kind of shift the body back and forth sometimes. That can feel interesting. Phew. Sometimes I even like to bounce in this one. And you might really like kind of bouncing ballistic stretches, or you might not. So I come to a place where I feel a little tension and I just kind of do a little bobble up and down. And notice how that feels in your body. Doesn't have to be the most intense. It's just a little bounce. It's a little bounce. And then when I stop the bounce, I often find I can get a little bit lower. Great. Peel your way back up. And come into a tabletop, hands and knees position here, y'all. Tuck this in so we can see a little bit more about what's going on. I love oversized shirts, but also they get in the way. Tabletop position, shoulders somewhat over the wrists, hips somewhat over the knees. Take a moment to just turn your hands in different positions if that feels inviting for you. And then do keep your blocks nearby, especially if you like the support of blocks when you're doing any kind of like lunge or half splitty item. Okay, from your tabletop position, I'm just going to walk forward a little bit. Send your right leg long behind you, tuck the toe. Be soft in the leg first just to notice the difference, and then squeeze the glute and tighten up through the leg. Squeeze the right glute, tighten up through the leg, and bounce backwards, stretching through. Generally, for a lot of people, you feel this in the back of the right calf versus the hamstring. But squeeze through the booty and just kind of bounce your weight into your heel. Great. Pause the bounce. Squeeze your right booty. Hover your right leg off the ground. Can you do this without changing the low back? So it's not about a back bend. Lift the lower ribs away from the ground. Squeeze through the booty. Cool, cool? Now, option is to keep that foot hovering or to let it lower and skate on the ground as you think about sending your right leg back behind you, maybe to tap, and then coming back. Send your right leg back behind you and come back. Send it back behind you and come back. And if you're like, no way, that's not happening, well, you also have your blocks, and that can help to lift you up a little bit more to this kind of elevated position. But again, try not to go for the back bend. Squeeze through the right booty, send it back, and come in. Send it back and come in. And yes, you can skate your foot on the floor if that feels more interesting to you. Send it back and come in. And this time, as you send it back, do release your right foot to the floor until you're in what we call kind of like a fake pigeon. Drag your blocks. I like them on the medium setting back behind you. And if this is too much on your knee, of course, lift up out of it to whatever degree you need to. With your hands on your blocks here, tilt the torso about 45 degrees forward. So we're not kind of focusing on an upright torso here. That's a little too much of extension, I think, for now. We just kind of got into this. And leave the top of your right foot down. So hands on the block, top of the right foot down. Squeeze through your right booty. As you engage through your right booty, you can experiment with trying to lift the chest up a little bit more. Can you lift the chest up a little bit more without losing that integration of the pelvis, so the squeeze of the right booty and the pull of the pubic bone upwards? So find a comfortable position for you, and for most of us, that probably won't be quite upright yet. Notice I'm not totally relaxed on my bottom leg either. I'm kind of pushing it into the floor. Now, let's play with some hamstring flossing. Push your right knee into the floor and curl your right heel towards your sit bone. You might cramp. It's okay. If you need to adjust or put a blanket or towel under your right knee, that's fine. Release your leg back down without just letting go of engagement slowly and curl it back in. Release it down, curl it back in, release it down, curl it back in. And if you're like, this feels like way too much for me right now, you can focus on this by taking your forearms down and taking out kind of the hip extension and just kind of focusing on hamstrings. If you're like, no, I need to do one thing at a time, like, I get it. Totally get it. This is a great place to be. Or you can be up in the blocks, kind of doing both at the same time. Wherever you are for a moment, pause, curl that hamstring in. You can play with flexing the foot versus pointing it. Squeeze the booty, squeeze the booty, squeeze the booty. Okay, release that right foot back to the floor. Now, watch me for a second. You're just going to take your hips and shift them to the left so you can sit on your booty. And it's like this really messy, pigeony thing, right? Tuck your right knee under to whatever degree feels interesting and curl your right heel back in like you already did. Now, if you want to reach back and do a quad stretch here, that's great. It's like kind of a weird lazy quad stretch, right? Or you can use your strap if that's nearby and pull your right heel towards your sit bone. The goal here is the quad stretch, not necessarily the hip extension, since we've already kind of been playing with that. But do focus on the squeeze of the glute and the pull of the pubic bone towards the sternum. Release your right leg back towards straight. Tuck the right knee under. Cactus your right arm. And then reach it across the body towards the left. Kind of like we did before, kind of this rounding of the spine, just in a different position. Open to cactus. Reach across and down. Open to cactus. Reach across and down. Open to cactus. Reach across and down. Great. Make your way back towards tabletop. We're just going to do the other side. We don't have to do any kind of fancy transition here, y'all. Keep your blocks nearby. Keep your strap nearby if you like that. Reset your tabletop. Send your left toes back behind you. Tuck them. Now, let the leg be soft and loosey-goosey, and then notice the difference when you squeeze through the booty and engage the leg. Lift the lower ribs away from the floor. Keep that as you bounce the left heel backwards. Looking for a little stretch through the left calf. Squeeze through the left booty. Awesome. Pause your bouncing. Squeeze the left booty and lift the left leg into the air without turning this into a back bend. All right? Now, here's that same slide back again. You can put the foot down for the slide, or you can keep it lifted. So shift your hips back and then forward. Using the strength of the glute to keep the leg hovering, or just the strength of the glute to keep engagement as you slide across the floor. You choose. There's not one right answer. Even if it's easier for you to put the foot down, but you can focus more on kind of the hip extension of the back leg, that's a great place to be. Or you can focus more on kind of the engagement and strength through the front leg and the squeeze of the glute to keep it off the floor. There is no right answer here. Moving back and forth. And the next time your left foot comes back, I'm just going to scoot forward a little because I keep migrating on my mat. Find yourself again in that like weird, I call it fake pigeon, but what's fake versus real? I don't know. Again, I like to tilt my torso forward about 45 degrees. Squeeze through your left glute and lift up through your left knee. You can put your hands on blocks. I recommend the medium setting if you're here, or the low setting, probably not the high one just for this. And you can play with this idea of picking up your torso a little bit higher, but notice if that just goes right into your low back, or if you can, in fact, keep a little bit of the hip extension here for yourself. I like to think about activity through both my legs. So both my legs are also pushing down as I squeeze my left booty and pull my pubic bone up towards my sternum. If you're like, absolutely, I don't want to hover my left knee, that's fine. You can leave it down. You can still do all those things with the left knee down. It's a little less hip extension, but there's still awesome things to focus on. And actually, it might be more hip extension if you can keep the pelvic positioning more there. So what do I know? Leave your knee down and curl the left heel towards the sit bone. Release. Curl it in. Now remember, if you're like, this is too much with my body upright, you can come forward, right? To whatever degree you need to play with these hamstring curlies. Curl and squeeze and release. Curl and squeeze and release. 2 more like that. Curl and squeeze and release. 1 more. Let's hold. Curl and squeeze. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Great. Release that foot backwards. Okay. Tilt yourself over onto your right sit bone. Look at your left leg behind you, maybe tuck it in just a little bit. Curl that left heel in. Again, it might be available for you to kind of grab onto that quad and do a little stretch here, or you might want to use your strap to do so. It's like a weird, messy quad stretch, y'all. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. We're just exploring things in a lot of different positions to see what works best for your body. Take your right hand out to the side for support or on your block. I like to tuck my right or left knee under a little bit more. And then really think about pulling my pubic bone almost in the opposite direction of my left knee. Release that back foot. Let it be somewhat tucked under. Cactus your left arm. Look towards the left. And then reach across the body over towards the right, rounding through the spine. Cactus. Reach across. Cactus. Reach across. Cactus. Reach across. Cactus. Reach across and hold. Great. Come back to your tabletop. And move your blocks just slightly out of the way, but keep them within reach. All right. Shift the weight slightly into your left knee and hover your right knee. Trying to keep the pelvis level, take your right knee out to the right and draw some circles with it, like we did when we were on our back. Draw some circles the other way. Big circles. Pause with the knee high to the sky. And however you need to, step the right foot outside of the right hand. If you need to carry it there or take a couple steps, that's great too. Right foot outside of the right hand. Your hands can be on blocks here as well for any point of this if this is helpful. And then think about your back toes. Can they tuck and lift up through the back knee? And if you need to kind of wiggle them backwards, I often do. So wiggle them backwards, lift up through the left knee. As you lift up through the left knee, squeeze through the left booty. Squeeze the left booty and pull your pubic bone towards the front of your mat, almost towards your nose. Lizard pose. Again, you can be on fingertips. You can be on the blocks. Okay. Lizard pose. If it feels interesting here to take that little bounce and you can keep the glute engagement of your left glute, go for it. I think a little lizard bounce is quite nice. Kind of bouncing the hips down and letting them come back up. Great. Lower the left knee back behind where it was before. So instead of kind of being under the hip, back behind where it was before. So we got a little hip extension, but just a little bit. Squeeze your left booty. Again, your hands can stay on block. Squeeze your left booty and curl your left heel towards your sit bone. Let it come back down to the floor. You choose whether to flex or point your foot. Curl your left heel towards your sit bone and release back down. Curl your left heel towards your sit bone. Release down. Curl it down. Curl it up, release. One more time. Curl it up, release, with this time with the toes tucked. Okay, hands on blocks, maybe on the medium setting, and feel free to drag your blocks back. Think about shifting your hips back and coming onto your right heel. Now I'm going to move my blocks for just a second. I recommend a soft ankle here. Not necessarily like a point or a floint, just kind of a soft ankle instead of the flex, because the flex can put some tension on more of the calf or the nerves even, and we're looking for hamstring a little bit here. So soft ankle. Push the heel down and drag it towards your sit bones. And then floss back forward to more of that lizard. Think about squeezing your back booty. Send it back to half splits. Drag your heel down and back. A little bend in the knee at least. It's fine if there's a lot of bend in the knee, but a little bend at least. Come forward. Lizard. Squeeze the back booty. Send it back. Come forward. 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 One more time like that. Send it back. Come forward. Pause in your space that you came forward in. Bring your back knee up a little bit so it's more under the hip. And bring your right leg back out to peeing puppy. Now you can continue to do this on blocks. It just gets a little wonky, but that's totally fine. Bring your right knee towards your right armpit and get a little crazy. Start to straighten out your right leg. To whatever degree, again, that feels reasonable for you. It's out to the side. Can you straighten out your right leg? And if you're like, absolutely not, it's on the floor, that's fine. Just try to find a little lightness there as you bring your right leg forward and work it towards straight. Can you hover it there? And if you're like, nope, again, we're just trying to find a little lightness. You can also push your heel into the floor and then lift and hover. Push your heel into the floor and try to find lightness. Push down, lift up, and release. Okay, now, just for a moment, we'd like to do half splits with more of our foot towards the center. It doesn't have to be all the way in the center. So if you have the blocks, you'll kind of need to walk one block out and then just kind of squeegee your leg a little bit more towards the center line, right? Versus out to the side. But again, you decide how much that is. And you decide the stance. I like my back hip approximately over my back knee for half splits, and I like my toes untucked. But you can tuck your toes, no matter. All right, look at your front foot. Can you soften the ankle? Push the heel down, drag it back. Notice if you can turn on your hamstring while you're stretching it. With your hands on blocks, just like we did at the beginning, start this idea of bowing down and lifting up. But keep the activation in your front leg. Bow down, lift up. Bow down, long spine, lift up. And you can bow inside of your leg a little bit too. That's fine. Bow down, lift up. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Take your hands onto your blocks. Press down to your blocks. Push your front heel down hard into the floor. Push it down, down, down. Hard, 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 hard into the floor. So hard. And then see if you can push into your blocks. Puff up through the back of the heart and either find lightness or even lift through the front leg. If it lifts, pulse it up towards the sky. If it doesn't lift, just try to find some lightness. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and drag it back. All right, let's do the other side, y'all. That was a long round on that side. Take your left knee out to the left and draw some big circles with it. Really big circles, keeping the heel close to the sit bone. Take it the other direction. Big circles. Pause with the left knee up to the sky. However you need to, step the left foot outside of the left hand. And you can certainly take a few steps to get there. You don't have to have your hands on blocks here, but you totally can. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, maybe squeegee it backwards. We're here in lizard. As you set up your lizard, squeeze your right booty. Pull your pubic bone towards your sternum. Think about pulling your knees in opposite directions. Great. This is a lovely place to be and to hold, or to add in a little bounce to the hips. A bounce to the hips. It's this idea here of bouncing kind of down and letting yourself spring back up to that more comfortable position. Bounce. And keep the squeeze of the booty the whole time and the pull of the pubic bone towards your nose. Bouncy, 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 bounce. Great. Lower through that back knee. Back behind where you were before, so behind your hip. Keep the squeeze of the glute and curl your heel towards your sit bone. Oh, hi, hamstring cramp. Lower it back down. Curl in and squeeze. Lower it back down. Curl in and squeeze. Lower it down. Curl in and squeeze. Lower. Squeeze one more time. Lower. Squeeze this time as you lower. Tuck those back toes. Again, do what you need to do with your blocks. Shift your hips back. Leave a soft ankle on that front foot towards a half split. As you push that left heel down and drag it towards your hips, try to keep at least a small bend, a micro bend, into that left leg. You can move your blocks back to help your chest stay up a little bit more and come back forward to a lizard. Squeeze your right booty. Shift the hips back, half split. Come forward, little lizard. Squeeze the booty. Shift back, half split. Come forward, squeeze the booty. Half split. Squeeze booty. Half split. squeeze booty. One more time, half split, squeeze booty. Okay, pull your back knee in just a little bit until it's more underneath the hip and take your left knee back out to that tabletop peeing puppy. Pull your knee towards your left armpit. Work that left leg towards straight. If you're like, absolutely not, that's fine. Leave it on the floor and just kind of try to either find lightness or even little pickups. You can use sharp exhales and big pushes of the hands to help with this. Or if it does lift, you want to just hover it there, that's fine too. You can even take it back to the side and bring it back, take it out, bring it back, take it out, bring it back, take it out. Oh, hello, cramp. Bring it back, take it out, bring it back. Oh my gosh. Okay. However you'd like to, let's get this left leg a little bit more towards the midline. That could mean just like moving the block. You could get a little wild and hop it over the block. Do whatever you'd like here to set up your half split. Again, I like my hips over my back knee. A softness to the ankle, press down through the heel and drag back. I like my blocks in the medium setting. If you prefer yours in the higher, that's fine too, or even the lower or no blocks at all. Long spine. Experiment with how much you want to take your leg out and also how much you want to rotate your front leg as you think about the idea of lowering down and lifting up with a long spine. Just like we did at the beginning. Lower down, lift up, 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 lower down. Two more. Lift up, lower down, lift up, lower down, lift up. Great. Step your left foot back and come to a seat. Extend your legs out long in front of you. We're pretty much done, y'all. Take your blocks to either side of you, maybe in the low or the medium setting, and drag them more towards your knees. I like my legs a little bit separated and also a little bit turned out so I have space to kind of lay my torso down. So thinking about long spine, to what degree do you feel comfortable at this point in class kind of folding forward a little bit over your legs? Doesn't have to be your deepest fold. Long spine, take your hands onto your blocks. And here's a little extra challenge here. In this folded position, kind of that movement we just did of hovering the leg, like you could use this as just a fold position to kind of soften out through the end of class, or if you're looking for engagement in this end range position. And the reason we're doing this is because if we contract the front of the legs, like the quad and the hip flexors, quads is a hip flexor, but if we contract the front of the leg to try to lift it off the ground, we're kind of forcing the other side of the joint to soften and relax a little, which is the hamstring, right? And so for a lot of us, the front hamstring and splits can be a lot. So activating the front quad and the hip flexors can be really helpful there. So you can practice this in a more upright position and try to hover each leg. If you're like, no problem, fold forward a little bit. Push your hands into the block, hover each leg. Fold forward a little bit more, hover each leg. And you may notice, even if you don't get the hover, even if you're just trying to play with this idea of lightness, even trying to find that contraction then allows you a little bit more space to then fold forward. So I encourage you to play with this for the next 30 to 90 seconds as we finish out class and simply experiment with your body. What do you need here? What do you need here? Where do you want to be? Again, splits, this idea of full front splits, keeping the hips square, is not necessarily something that I would even say is totally achievable by all bodies, and certainly not necessary, right? Although it can be a really fun goal to have. But working on some of these drills can certainly help with other aspects of our practice and our movement in general. There really is no downside of working on these drills and putting in the exploration and consistency with your practice. So I highly, highly recommend tinkering even outside of these practice segments, just because that way you'll know where you maybe need a little bit more time and where maybe you can just explore and play a little bit more. Thank you for joining me. As always, hit me up with questions. I'd be happy to take your thoughts during these next couple months, or if you want to send me videos on Instagram and the DMs of what you're working with and what's really challenging for you, I'd be more than happy to chime in and give you my thoughts. But thanks for joining me for Splits Camp, and I'll see you again soon.